Ernie Banks. Dressed in the uniforms of their favorite Major League teams, they're all winners of a national pitch, hit, and run contest. And on this day, they'll learn the significance of this game in mid-July when the best have come to play.
What does it take to be an all-star?
Having played in 13 mid-season classics, Ernie Banks knows well what it takes to be an all-star. Blessed with one of the sweetest home run swings in the game, number 14 was the heart and soul of the Chicago Cubs. For 2 decades, they came to the graceful environs of Wrigley Field to sit in the sun and watch him hit 'em out. And then one day in 1970, he joined a select club. This home run over Wrigley's ivied walls was number 500 and guaranteed him a spot in the Hall of Fame. Banks retired the following year with a career total of 512. But baseball was not about to let Ernie Banks retire completely. His warmth, graciousness, and enthusiasm are vital to the game. Today, he's one of baseball's most active ambassadors. Playing host to these youngsters, Ernie will hopefully teach them just what it means to be the best. And so at 5:35 p.m. on July 11th, 1978, as Ernie Banks, his young guests, and a record hometown crowd settle in, the 49th All-Star Game is underway in San Diego Stadium. For the National League, Vida Blue of the San Francisco Giants is on the mound. The first pitcher ever to start for both the American and National Leagues in the Summer Classic. Leading off is Rod Carew of the Minnesota Twins. Carew remembers well Blue's days with the Oakland A's. He especially remembers his rising fastball. With cool patience, he waits until the precise moment. It's a leadoff triple for baseball's best hitter. Now, Blue faces George Brett of the Kansas City Royals. Brett goes to the opposite field to drive in the game's first run.
Hey, good hustle.
This gives Ernie Banks the chance to make a point.
Hey, what Pete Rose told us, you got to hustle. It takes a lot of desire. And that was a good example right there with George Brett. Hustle.
Vida Blue must now contend with Jim Rice. The Boston Sluggers retired, but Brett moves on to third. Following a base on balls, the Red Sox Carlton Fisk gets under one. And so does Joe Morgan of the Cincinnati Reds. 2 away, but a hustling Brett scores, making it 2-0. With their offense crackling, the American League All-Stars are eager to reverse the tide of 14 National League victories in the last 15 years. The Boston Red Sox Dwight Evans encourages teammate Fred Lynn to keep the rally going. Bida's still in the jam, but St. Louis catcher Ted Simmons comes to the rescue. Simmons has made his point. The inning is finally over. For Bida Blue, it was a most unfriendly reunion.
On the mound, Jim Palmer.
Pitching for the American League is Baltimore's Jim Palmer, making his 5th All-Star appearance. With one out, Palmer catches Joe Morgan flat-footed.
Like 3.
Manager Billy Martin feels good, and so does Palmer as he makes it a 1-2-3 inning.
Like 3. Good fastball there. He's throwing the ball. That's really fine pitching in that situation, which means that he is an outstanding pitcher, and he really was concentrating on that situation. Concentration is key to being a successful pitcher, right?
With the first inning over, the American League leads 2-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a last-minute addition to the National League roster. Means San Diego's HBC Cricket.
Enter the world's largest blue-eyed chicken. A native of San Diego, this comical, flamboyant bird migrates freely throughout both leagues, receiving a warm welcome wherever he happens to land.
Leading off for the American League, number 29, Carew.
The second inning passes quiet. But in the third, Carew greets a Bida Blue curve and sends it beyond Foster's reach. Despite a textbook relay, the 6-time American League batting champion collects his second triple of the game, an all-star record.
That's what it takes to be a great hitter. You got to have good memory. Remember what the pitcher threw you, where he threw it to you. So you got to remember what the pitcher's throwing you all the time. That's why Rod Carew is an all-star. You can remember what the pitcher throwing, how fast he's throwing, and what's his best pitch.
For American League fans, spirits are high. Greg Nettles tweaks the beak of the hometown chicken, who must now seek a friendlier roost. Meanwhile, Billy Martin and his coaches share a moment of mutual satisfaction. All is going according to plan. Moments later, George Brett collects his second RBI as Carew scores his second run. Now leading 3-0. With Palmer pitching well, the American League is confident. This just might be the year to turn things around. But in the bottom of the third, things begin to happen. Philadelphia's Larry Boa starts it with this lazy looper.
Nice little Texas rigger. Okay, hey, let's go. Yay! Hey, let's go, Reggie.
The Dodgers' Reggie Smith does not deliver, but Boa does by stealing second.
The third baseman, number 14, Pete Rose.
And now it's switch-hitting Pete Rose. Although Charlie Hustle becomes an out, Boa advances to third. And with 2 away and Joe Morgan due up, Billy Martin wants to talk tactics with the Oriole ace. Whatever the mound strategy, it was laid in vain, as Palmer, in a rare display of wildness, walks Morgan and Foster. Still only 1 out away from the safety of the dugout, Palmer is clearly disgusted for loading the bases. Now he must face Philadelphia powerhouse Greg Luzinski.
Ball 4.
Palmer walks his third batter in a row, forcing home the National League's first run. It's now 3-1. While a dejected Palmer mentally searches for his control, Manager Tom Lasorda leads the National League Welcoming Committee.
Nice going, Larry. Way to go, baby.
Meanwhile, Martin checks his lineup card.
Number 6, Steve Garvey.
Dodger first baseman Steve Garvey comes up in a clutch opportunity. Steve lifts his all-star average to 500, driving home Morgan and Foster. The game is even at 3 apiece.
Way to go. Way to go, Georgie. Way to go.
For the second time, the American League skipper heads for the mound, and for the second year in a row, Martin is forced to remove his starting all-star pitcher, Jim Palmer. Neither team was able to score in the middle innings, which belonged to the pitchers. Manager Martin used a combination of the Oakland A's' Matt Keogh, the Milwaukee Brewers' Larry Sorensen, and Cleveland's Jim Kern to hold the National League to just 2 hits. Meanwhile, Steve Rogers of the Montreal Expos and local favorite Raleigh Fingers combined to handcuff the American League. Larry Boa backed the good pitching with some airtight defense.
Nice play, nice play. That was tremendous hustle by Larry Boa. He beat that play at first base, so that's what made him an all-star. Hustle, right?
Boa is a hustler, all right, but here he gets out-hustled by right fielder Dwight Evans. The game remains tied at the end of 6 innings. The All-Star Classic. The All-Stars. A celebration of excellence. A meeting of extremely skilled athletes. A display of the game's finer points. It's a game played by men who've spent their lives honing skills that first became evident on the sandlots of their youth. And when the best of them meet in the All-Star game, character rides on every pitch. Some have said that the All-Star game is unimportant because there's nothing at stake. Well, don't say that to these men. They've worked too hard to be here. The will to win still rides high, higher than all other concerns. As Pete Rose says, you want to prove you're the best at your position, that your league is the better league. Yet Rose and these All-Stars know that whatever the outcome, there are no losers here. Just extraordinary men who've reached the pinnacle of their profession by going flat out. The score remains knotted going into the top of the 7th. Raleigh Fingers is still on the mound, and with 1 out, Larry Heisel of the Brewers beats out an infield hit. The American League may have something going. Heisel becomes a force-out victim, and with 2 away, Carew is now on first. Next, Phillies catcher Bob Boone gets his chance to shine.
See that play? Quickness, good release. Good coverage by Dave Concepcion. Quickness, good strong hand.
It's the 8th inning, and relief artist Bruce Sutter of the Chicago Cubs is untouchable.
Like 3.
Boston's Jim Rice strikes out. And then, with Red Sox manager Don Zimmer looking on, Sutter repeats his magic on Dwight Evans.
Like 3.
As Sutter heads for the dugout, the San Diego fans stand and applaud the Chicago star, whose singular skills had silenced them so often. With the score still 3-3, bottom of the 8th, Yankee fastballer Rich Gossage comes in. For the Goose, no easy task with Steve Garvey leading it off. It's off the wall. A three-bagger, putting the National League's potential go-ahead run only 90 feet away. Padre fans for one day are pulling for Dodgers. And Dodgers are pulling for Reds. It's now Gossage against Davy Concepcion. But a wild pitch enables the National League to take the lead for the first time. After walking Concepcion, Gossage tries to collect himself as San Diego's favorite son, Dave Winfield, steps to the plate. In his short tenure with the Padres, Winfield has become an institution in San Diego, loved by the fans for his contribution off the field as well as on. Winfield responds to the cheers. The stadium erupts. The National League now seems to be moving in the right direction. Now Gossage faces San Diego native Bob Boone. Concepcion and Winfield score. The tensions of a tight game are broken as Boone shares a laugh with his first base coach. The home team now has a 3-run lead.
I want to go.
Finally, catcher Jim Sundberg of the Texas Rangers stops the barrage by catching Dodger Davy Lopes in the act. The National League is up by 4 runs with only 3 outs to go. Bruce Sutter got the first 2 outs, but then he received a surprise visit.
Bruce, I want Negro to pitch in the All-Star game before he retires. Wait here a minute. Let's give him a couple pitches. I want him to pitch before he...
Tom Lasorda wanted to show the American League his league's most successful knuckleballer. Suter is only 1 out away from becoming the winning pitcher, but gladly gives way to 39-year-old Phil Niekro of the Atlanta Braves, who, despite an illustrious career, is making only his 2nd All-Star appearance. Kansas City's Darrell Porter pops up. And the National League is victorious, 7-3. And so this Festival of Stars, this Midsummer Classic of the American game was over for another season. For the fans in San Diego, it was a perfect day, filled with victory and local heroics. For Steve Garvey, it was winning his 2nd Most Valuable Player trophy and the realization of a dream years before when he was a Dodger bat boy. As for the companions of Ernie Banks, their dream is bright and shining, made all the more possible by this day in the company of a man who told them all about a precious combination called hustle, desire, and confidence. Yes, the youngsters had heard about it from Mr. Cub, and then saw it exemplified on the field of play by their heroes, baseball's 1978 Major League All-Stars.